John had always been a kind hearted man. He was a generous friend and a loving father. His life was all about spreading happiness, and he never hesitated to lend a helping hand to those in need. John had a lot of friends, but one of his closest friends was Robert. Robert was a wealthy businessman who had always admired John's kind nature. Robert used to do business partnership with John on small scale so that John could earn his livelihood. One day, he received a news that his friend John passed away. He was very much saddened. At John's funeral, Robert arrived, looking for the legal heirs of his friend. He announced among the crowd gathered at John's funeral that he had lent John a considerable amount of money to help him start his business. John had promised to pay him back, but unfortunately he passed away before he could fulfill his promise. He disclosed that he had lent John sum of $10 million and he wanted his money back. Robert asked around, but no one came forward to claim John's inheritance. Even the three sons who were all listening there but remained silent. Robert was confused and he asked everyone present at the funeral, but no one could provide him with a satisfactory answer. Robert was getting frustrated and he decided to leave the funeral when suddenly a young woman came forward. She was John's daughter, a poor girl who had been struggling to make ends meet. She stepped forward, looking at our Robert with tears in her eyes. She explained that her father had always been a kind man and he would never have wanted to burden anyone with his debts. She promised that she would do everything in her power to repay Robert's loan. Robert was touched by his honesty and sincerity, and he realized that she was the rightful heir to John's legacy. Robert was overcome with emotion, and he took out a bank check for $10 million. He handed it to the girl, telling her that he had devised this false story just to trace the legal and deserving heirs of John. He explained that he actually had invested money with John in joint business venture that made profit and this $10 million is the John's share. I had no knowledge of John's family, so I used this trick to reach to the true heir of John, and you, daughter of John, is the one I was searching for. The girl was overwhelmed with gratitude and she thanked Robert for his kindness. She looked around and saw the shocked faces of John's sons, who had been too busy fighting over their father's inheritance to even consider paying his debts. The girl took the check and she hugged Robert. The sons looked ashamed and embarrassed, realizing that their father's true legacy lay not in his wealth, but in his kindness and generosity of raising the daughter in such a way. But we three brothers failed to learn integrity from late father. In the end, Robert left the funeral with a sense of peace, knowing that he had fulfilled his duty as a friend and as a human being. The girl left the funeral with a newfound sense of purpose, knowing that her father's legacy would continue to inspire integrity.